A rousing good morning to all of you, whoever you are and wherever you find yourselves this morning, and welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura. We are a congregation made up of people of many beliefs, identities, origins, sexualities, and genders. All are welcome here as we gather to keep love at the center of our lives and in the way we move through the world. I am Worship Associate Sue Brinkmeyer, and I am joined in facilitating this service this morning by Worship Associate Xina Kingshill. Our minister, Pastor Eric Halseth, is away from the pulpit this morning, and we welcome three voices from the congregation to our pulpit as we reflect on tomorrow's Memorial Day holiday and ask ourselves what it means to us today to remember the more than 1.3 million American service members who have died in major conflicts since 1775. I know many of you have lost family members and friends who served, and today our thoughts and sympathy go out to you as you remember them, and we also remember the more than 600,000 who lost their lives in the Civil War. The more than 100,000 we lost in World War I, 400,000 more in World War II, more than 35,000 in the Korean War, more than 50,000 in the Vietnam War, more than 2,000 in the war in Afghanistan, more than 4,000 in the war in Iraq, and the 15 service members we have lost so far, may they be the last, in the war with Iran. I hope today and every year that remembering all those who have died in our military will come with both gratitude and will be a stepping stone to greater wisdom and more lasting peace for us, our country, and the world. UU Army Chaplain George Tiger calls us to remember that Memorial Day is not to be celebrated. It is to be observed, scrutinized, and witnessed on behalf of the true witnesses of our human failure to love our neighbor as ourselves. They are ghosts now, haunting lives with the gift of remembrance, so that we will not forget their living, but even more, that the grief of remembering will create in us a yearning for peace that will stir us to action. Our speakers from the congregation today will share their reflections on Memorial Day. They are Chris Clogston, Paul LaVale, and Gail Naylor, and I look forward to hearing what they have to say. And I wonder if we had a speaker today from the Chumash people, what they would say about this day. They have stewarded this land for thousands of years, and we pause to remember that our building rests on their unceded ancestral homelands. Let us remember that we live on ground that is sacred, ground that calls us to work for justice, peace, and respect for all the world's peoples. Couple of announcements. We thank you for keeping the section near the windows for worshipers who are more comfortable being with others who are wearing masks. And I want to call to your attention a few of the many, many events that are happening in the upcoming weeks, all of which have details outlined in UUCV this week, our email bulletin. If you don't yet get that, you can sign up in the entryway to have that emailed to you. So here we go. First announcement, Parents' Night Out and Movie Night is this Friday, May 29. The Lorax will show at 5:20 and Hoppers at 7 p.m. Families are welcome to stay, or you may simply drop off your children. Just RSVP so that the group can plan for snacks and supervision. And you can join our Wisdom Exploration program on an outing to the Santa Ynez Chumash Museum on Saturday, May 30, to explore Chumash history, art, and living traditions. The group will enjoy a 25% group discount on admission, and financial support is available for anyone who may need it. Reach out to Lily Rappaport or Susan Franzblau for more info. And next Sunday at 2 p.m., you can celebrate with our previous music director, Carolyn Bierke, as she is ordained as a UU minister at the UU Fellowship of Santa Barbara. Please RSVP via the info in UUCV this week. And I'm excited to announce that 2 weeks from today, June 7, after the service in our parking lot, we hope you will come for a barbecue and potluck to celebrate and thank Jen Luce for the 9 years she served as our church administrator, and to welcome Leanna Beauregard as our new church administrator. They will both be there. Finally, our Green Room Art Gallery is changing exhibits, so I urge you to enjoy the wonderful show that is there now before it's gone. Applications to add something to the next show can be found in this week, or you can pick up a paper copy in the Green Room and return it to the envelope there. Those applications are due June 7, and if you have something in the current show, you'll pick it up on June 14. Contact Celia Ortenberg if you have questions. And now, let us enter sacred space together. Bring your whole self, the memories from your past, the joys and sorrows from your present, and your hopes and fears for the future. All of these belong here in this sacred space.
Good morning. I am Worship Associate Xina Kingshill. Last year, I had the pleasure of leading this service with Sue as my sounding board. This year, Sue took the lead, and I've been her assistant. We make a pretty good team. Honoring the sacrifice of those who have fallen in times of war can feel impersonal if no one in your family or immediate circle has died in a war. For those of us remembering a specific person, the memories are bittersweet, as the person is frozen in time, no matter how many years have passed. Reframing such memories as stepping stones towards a kinder future brings me hope. We invite those of you who are Zooming or streaming into this service to light a chalice or candle at home. As we light our chalice here in the sanctuary today. In honor of those we have known and loved in the past, in recognition of the gifts and sacrifices they have made on our behalf, and in our sincere hope that we may be worthy of their memory, we light our chalice in recognition of Memorial Day. We begin our service today with these words from Heather J. Januels, Called by Loss. We come this day called by war, by the suffering we inflict and endure, when minds across borders fail to reason and compromise. We come this day called by loss, the deaths of those who serve in our name, those whose lives end before their natural course in service to a cause greater than their own. We come this day called by hope, hope that we will, in some season, finally surrender our swords for plowshares. And we come this day called by peace. May we hear its song. May we proclaim its promise. May our remembrance today renew our struggle. We can never stay or rest. Come, let us remember and worship together.
Good morning, y'all. Hi, I'm Zach Spencer, and I invite you all to rise in spirit or in body as you're able, as we all sing together hymn number 1018, Come and Go With Me.
And now I would like to invite forward all of our young ones and those who are young at heart to pick up groceries and things for let's see, Poder Popular and Ride Alliance 805 as you come. And then join me up front for a story. Here we go, sweetie. Thank you so much for picking up all the stuff for the baskets. We appreciate your generosity for bringing it. And this is the story of Maya and the whispering trunk. There it is. Maya loved spending time at her Grandma Nana's house. She especially loved listening to her grandmother's stories about the olden days. Grandma always had something on hand that reminded her of each story. So, one rainy afternoon when Maya asked Grandma to tell her a story, her Nana said, "Maya, go up to the attic and find the wooden trunk with the blue ribbon and bring me some of the things you'll find there." Wow, that sounded like an adventure. Maya went up the narrow stairs and through the hole in the ceiling and into the dusty attic. She found the trunk, and inside she did not find the hats or items from other countries that were in some of Nana's other stories. It looked like old toys, a faded photograph, a notebook with yellow pages. Maya wondered what stories they held. As she touched a small, carved wooden horse, she felt a warm sensation, almost like a whisper in her mind. She rushed downstairs. Nana, the toys are talking. Nana smiled. They aren't talking, dear. They are sharing. The past has lessons if you listen. Maya showed her the toy horse. Ah, my grandfather made that horse out of wood for me, and I loved it. I knew he had spent hours carving it, so it reminded me how much he loved me. That horse was part of many a story I told myself as it pranced on its 4 strong legs in the castles I built out of blocks. But one day I was careless and banged it against the wall, breaking its leg. Oh. You see, he can't prance anymore, but he still reminds me how much my grandfather loved me, and he reminds me to be careful with the things I love, too. Then Maya opened the yellow notebook. It was a diary from when Grandma was a little girl. Grandma Nana said, "Let me read you a few of the pages I wrote when I was little like you." Nana read about the school where she went to class with all the older and the younger children in the same classroom. Can you imagine that? She read about the older kids reading stories and helping the younger ones learn to read. She read about how excited Nana was when she became a good reader, and it was her turn to read to the younger ones. That diary reminds me of all those fun times and how good it felt when I could be the one helping others, Nana said. And the last item was a faded photograph of kids in front of a schoolhouse. We didn't have internet and video games to play back then, Nana said. We had to be creative, make up games we could play together. We learned a lot in those games, how to share, how to take care of one another, how to watch and listen and learn to do better. Maya looked at the items from the trunk, the photo, the diary, the carved horse with the broken leg, and she realized those items from the past were like a map, showing where people went wrong and where they went right. That evening, when Maya's little brother Sam wanted to play with her new art set, Maya felt the pull of selfishness. But she remembered the whispering trunk and its message. Take care of one another. Share to be happy. Here, Sam, Maya said, handing him a blue crayon. Let's dry together. And Nana smiled from her chair. The past wasn't dusty at all. It was alive and helping Maya make a better today. And now, let's sing our children out as they go off to wisdom exploration. Whoa, wait till you get a bridge to go through, guys. Form a bridge in the center.
Giving away our offering each week is one way this congregation keeps love at the center of worship. and the way we move in the world. All of the funds donated today and every week go to help people in need via an organization in the larger community or via a fund that helps members of our church family in their time of need. Those at home can give through the link posted in the chat or by texting assist to the number on the screen. Folks who are present here in the sanctuary can also text to give or drop a check or cash in the box that's on the back wall of the sanctuary, either during the offertory or right after the service. Our offering today goes to 805 UndocuFund, an organization dedicated to supporting immigrant communities impacted by natural disasters across the Central Coast. The fund supports undocumented and mixed status families and their children and confronts the challenges they endure, including exposure to unsafe conditions, displacement, and the long-term impacts of disaster, all while being systematically excluded from traditional relief systems. 805 UndocuFund provides direct, community-led support so families can access the relief, dignity, and care they need. In 2025, the fund expanded its role to serve as the Central Coast Rapid Response Network, monitoring, verifying, and reporting local immigration enforcement activity to keep communities informed and safe. Through its Emergency Assistance Fund, it provides one-time financial relief to families in Santa Barbara, Ventura, and San Luis Obispo counties whose loved ones have been detained or abducted by ICE, offering immediate support during moments of crisis. Thank you for giving generously to support this important resource for our immigrant communities.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with friends and our families, all as one will be. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are always grateful for the generosity of this congregation, which helps us weave a tapestry of love, remembrance, and gratitude that we call community.
Good morning. I'm Chris Clogston. I was unchurched from the time I was 18 years old until I discovered UUCV online during the COVID pandemic, in the early days of the lockdown. Those Zoomed services really were a lifeline, and I'm incredibly grateful. Last year, I was part of the synthesizers group that really studied the relationship between our budget and our goals. A number of years ago, poking around genealogical websites, I discovered I was a 9th generation American. That's probably inaccurate because the label American wasn't really used until after the Declaration. In my father's line, we descend from John Clogston, who came from Scotland via Ireland to Boston in 1745. He later moved to New Hampshire. He was a farmer. I knew from old family photos, stories, and my own memories that military service was fairly constant through the generations. I still don't have a complete picture, though. Members of my family fought on both sides of the American Revolution, both sides of the American Civil War, and family members served in every major war of the 20th century. As far as I know, in 280 years, there have been 2 family deaths that occurred in military service, and each Memorial Day, this has been a bit complicated for me. The first was Paul Clogston, John Clogston's son, who fought at the Battle of Bunker Hill. He was injured on June 17th, 1775, and died 1 month later of his wounds. I can't imagine how horrific that was. His brother, John Jr., was also wounded at the same battle, but lived, which ultimately was good for me, because I'm directly descended from John Jr. and not Paul. Paul's burial information is not known. There's no known gravesite. I discovered Paul on a visit to Boston, walking the Freedom Trail and visiting historical sites. His name is on the Bunker Hill Memorial. Imagine my shock, because no one in the family talked about this. Research connected him to my family directly, but I do wonder why it was never spoken about in the family, why my father didn't know. The second one, my mother's great-grandfather. The family just did not know what happened to him. He went off to war, and he did not return. The story was always related with great sadness. My cousin Jennifer found our great-great-grandfather's grave in a New Orleans military cemetery 153 years after he left home. During that period of time, no one in the family had any information about him at all. This was Private William Gooch. He was a member of the 8th Missouri Infantry, Company B, and he joined the Confederate Army on August 4th, 1862. Captured at the Battle of Pleasant Hill in Louisiana on April 2nd, 1864, he became a POW. He died July of that year of disease in the POW camp in Louisiana. And he's buried outside of New Orleans in Cypress Grove Cemetery number 2. I've since found out that almost 10% of all POWs during the American Civil War did not die of wounds, but died of disease, like my great-great-grandfather. So Paul Clogston and William Gooch fought in civil wars, a kind of a type of war that I don't know that we really understand anymore, but perhaps endlessly fascinated as I am. But I said it was complicated. Obviously, we can observe and memorialize, but I certainly can't celebrate. And I certainly find my great-great-grandfather's role in the American Civil War to be very problematic. He joined an enormous effort to protect white supremacy and slavery in this country. He did not give the last full measure of devotion, as President Lincoln referred to it. There was no devotion to the Constitution. Much like we are seeing today in the current administration, there is no devotion to the Constitution. I think it's important to know all of our histories. We should not be covering up history that is terrible, tragic, regrettable, inexcusable, and even evil. Scrubbing our past harms our future. Years ago, I read Drew Gilpin Faust's book, this republic of suffering, death, and the American Civil War. And in these days, when we're watching the Constitution being egregiously ignored, I keep thinking of a line from a Union soldier's letter home, addressed to friends at home, quoted in the book. He writes, "I am opposed to one man killing another, but when we are attacked and our lives are in danger by a gang of men opposed to the best government on earth, I shall fight." For me personally, replace the word fight with resist, and I can approve this message. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. And for those of you who don't know, I want to also be sure you do know that Chris is the artist who put together this beautiful banner that celebrates our UU values with us every week. And every week, we take time here in the service to lift up the great joys and sorrows that grace our lives. We place stones in water for each joy or sorrow as it is read, and that makes ripples go out across the surface of the water that symbolize the way each of those things that is occurring in the life of one of us affects the life and hearts of all of us. You can share joy or sorrow if you wish via a link in our website, UUCV This Week, or that's our email bulletin or our website, uuventura.org. If they're in by 8 o'clock Saturday night, we'll read them that Sunday most of the time. Xina will place one final stone in the water for all those joys and sorrows just shared and those that still remain in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts. May we be grateful for all the ways we are here for one another, supporting each other in all the blessings and tribulations that life brings our way. And now I invite you to join in singing a song from our new hymnal. Because it's from our new hymnal, we've sung it once before, but we'll put the music up for you. You can watch as the notes go up and down. We'll sing each verse twice, and then go back and sing each verse one more time. It's a good song for all the sorrows that we need to let go of today. Loosen. Thank you, Zach. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry
the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go.
Again. Loosen, loosen, baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go.
Loosen, loosen,
Baby, you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your muscles and bones. Let go, let go, let go. Holy breath and holy name, will you ease my pain? Holy breath and holy name,
Our reading today is titled Of History and Hope by Miller Williams. We have memorized America, how it was born, and who we have been and where. In ceremonies and silence, we say the words, telling the stories, singing the old songs. We like the places they take us, mostly we do. The great and all the anonymous dead are there. We know the sound of all the sounds we brought. The rich taste of it is on our tongues. But where are we going to be, and why, and who? The disenfranchised dead want to know. We mean to be the people we meant to be, to keep on going where we meant to go. But how do we fashion the future? Who can say how, except in the minds of those who will call it now? The children. The children. And how does our garden grow? With waving hands, oh, rarely in a row, and flowering faces and brambles that we can no longer allow. We, who were many people coming together, cannot become one people falling apart. We, who dreamed for every child an even chance, cannot let luck alone turn doorknobs, or not. We, whose law was never so much of the hand as the head, cannot let chaos make its way to the heart. We, who have seen learning struggle from teacher to child, cannot let ignorance spread itself like rot. We know what we have done and what we have said, and how we have grown, degree by slow degree, believing ourselves toward all we have tried to become, just and compassionate, equal, able, and free. All this in the hands of children, eyes already set on a land we never can visit. It isn't there yet, but looking through their eyes, we can see what our long gift to them may come to be. If we can truly remember, they will not forget. Zoom meditation.
I invite you now into a time of meditation. Take a moment to get comfortable in your seats. Close your eyes if you wish, and breathe. Follow the breath in and out as the concerns of the day, of the week dissolve and float away. Breathe. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. May our gift to our children be just such a world where they can breathe in peace and breathe out love. A silent meditation.
Good morning. I'm Paul Lavelle. I'm a current member. I joined about a year ago, but this is not my first meeting to the Unitarian Church. About 25 years ago, I visited with Sinkwall, the Terry House on Foothill Road. I see some of you nodding. Sinkwall and I were close friends. We played tennis every Saturday, and every Wednesday I visited his home in Ventura. Both of us were stock traders, and we discussed the current stocks. Later on, I met Nick Williams, and Nick was also a tennis player. And matter of fact, we played tennis every Sunday. And the amazing thing about Nick Williams is the amazing skill he had in his 90s. He was literally able to compete against B players and perhaps even some weak A players. So I was amazed. Back then also, when Nick was in his 90s, I had Nick paint the interior of my home. I had a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home. And the amazing thing about Nick was he used to use a brush, a wide brush. Amazing. After he finished painting the interior of my house, I wrote a check to him for $1,500. I knew that if I asked him for the amount, he would either quote me a very low amount or not take any money at all, but that was Nick. So he refused to take the check of $1,500 I wrote, and he tore it up. He says, "It's only $700. Okay. I wrote him a check for $700. But the thing I remember the most about Nick was visiting him in a nursing home on Loma Vista Road when he was in his late 90s. He was bedridden. He lost his legs because of diabetes. But the thing I remember about him was he had a smile. Most people would be, I think, very sad, very unhappy, particularly Nick, because he was so active. But he had a smile. That was amazing. So I'm still remembering Nick now, and I've got a smile on my face. But I joined this church about a year ago, and I welcome the friendly atmosphere and the help we provide to needy people. So thank you for listening to me today.
Today's special music is Where Have All the Flowers Gone? Some of you may recall the hit songs that were created by the Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul, and Mary, both. But it was originally written by Pete Seeger way back in 1955, over 70 years ago. 1955 was the same year that he was called to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee, which he did in 1956. He was convicted and sentenced in 1961, and his conviction was overturned in 1962. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all those young girls gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young girls gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young girls gone? Taking husbands, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all those young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone to soldiers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all those graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Covered with flowers, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn?
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. That was beautiful, Zach. Thank you. So I feel like I'm too close. So I had never belonged to a church before UUCV, and found y'all online during the pandemic, and I'm so grateful to be part of this community. The early 1960s. Before I knew what it was to be human, I watched the news reports, nightly body counts from Vietnam, 5, 6, 7 years old. I've never really thought about how war shaped my earliest memories. My father was in the Navy, but he was too young to enlist until 1946, so he never considered himself a true World War II veteran. My nephew served in Afghanistan. He was a rockabilly guitar player. He came back as someone we didn't recognize. Right out of college, I was hired by a defense contractor. For 15 years, I worked side by side with a lot of people in the military. I respected them, still do. I get tears in my eyes when I see soldiers in uniform, and I can't even thank them for their service because the words get caught in my throat. But I've also been watching Ken Burns' documentary on the Revolutionary War and am appalled at the brutality on both sides. I will never think about George Washington the same way again. This is how I feel when I believe our government has relatively good intentions. I'm not sure why I agreed to speak today. I'm afraid I'm going to alienate or anger or unintentionally insult those of you who have served or who have close family members who have served, but I have very mixed feelings about Memorial Day. One of the prompts for this talk was, what effect is the war in Iran having on your thoughts about Memorial Day this year? So many thoughts. Too many for 5 minutes for sure. But I think it taints, and I'll say dishonors, every service member when the commander-in-chief and civilian leadership start wars for even less reason than usual, and bomb boats in international waters and kidnap heads of states from other countries. And I'm terrified because no one seems to be refusing what I think are illegal orders. I always believed that the military would refuse orders that went against the Constitution, but they aren't refusing, and that scares me. If they don't draw the line where I think they should, will they draw it anywhere? I think this administration and this war in Iran and maybe Greenland and maybe Cuba and illustrates that something is broken in our country. And I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I would like to see Americans looking forward this Memorial Day to how we as a people want to behave, as well as looking back to honor those who have fought and died for our country. A country that in principle I love, but one that is changing in ways that make me wonder just how long I will be able to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. I invite you all to rise in body or in spirit as you're able, as we sing hymn number 1026, If Every Woman in the World. If every woman in the world had her mind set on freedom, if every woman in the world dreamed a sweet dream of peace,
join me in reading the words on the screen as we prepare to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. Those we carry into our lives until we are together again.
All of you here in the sanctuary are invited after the service for coffee, tea, bagels, and conversation in our community room, Berg Hall, through both the double doors and the single door there. Visitors and guests are specially invited to stop by the Connecting Center right through those doors with a big sign overhead where you'll find people ready for a chat and to welcome you. I remind you that on your way out of the sanctuary, you can put check or cash in the box on the back wall for our offering today. And those of you joining us from home can stay on Zoom to meet with others who are also on Zoom. And perhaps people in Berg Hall will stop by the TV to greet you and say hello. I hope so. I leave you with these words from Leah Durland Jones, called Inspired by Those Who Came Before. For those who came before us, we offer gratitude and thanks. May their memories be a blessing. May we feel surrounded by their love as we go forth from this time and place. Let us be inspired by their courage, their wisdom, and their dreams. Let us honor them by doing the work of living boldly, loving mightily, and creating heaven on earth. Amen, and blessed be.